Good morning, class. I'm here with my new topic of the next module. Firstly, I'm sharing the topic, and after that, I will be explain in front of you. Our next topic of the second unit, or we can say from the second module, relationship in OAD. In the development phase, what the role of relationship? They represent logical links between two or more entities or objects. Residence residence is an example of relationship that can exist between the entities city and employee. Exam is an example of relationship that can exist between the entities student and course. These are the some example which you can easily understand about the relationship. First example, as I explain you in front of you, residence is a just like your home or anything. The residence is an example of relationship because it the relationship exists between the entities. Different persons have their different relations with the different peoples. The here between city and employee, for the in the terms of exam, the relationship between in exam is an example of relationship that can exist between the entities student and course. An instance of relationship is an tuple made up of instances of entities, one of each of the entities involved. The pair of objects made up of the employee named Johnson and the city Stock, Stockholm, or the pair of objects made from the employee Pat Peterson and the city Oslo are example of instance in the relationship residence. Now moving to the graphical presentation of relationship. Here is relationship with exam, student, exam, and course. Student and course have a relationship of exam. Same for here I'm mentioning again employee, residence, workplace. These are the relation between employee and city is shown in a diamond shape written in the relation. Type of relationship. We are going to look at the way we define the relationship between class. So we so we know how objects can relate to each other. Following sorts of relationship exist: aggregation, inheritance, using, association, and instantiations. Now moving to the aggregation. As I explained before this lecture, previous to last previous lecture, I will discuss about aggregation. Firstly, I know you all know about aggregation, but a little bit I will give some description about aggregation and compositions. An aggregation object is one which contains other object. For example, an airplane class would contain engine, wing, tail, crew objects. Sometimes the class aggregation corresponds to physical containment in the model, like the aeroplane. But sometimes it more abstract, for example, club and members. The test for aggregation is to see if there is a whole part relationship between two class. Synonyms of this is part of. Different authors use different terms for the idea of containment, UML has a very specific use and different symbols of the term aggregation and composition, though this is not necessarily consistent with object-oriented authors. UML aggregation is weak containment, usually implemented with pointers, and the symbol is an open diamond. Composition is strong containment implemented by value, and the symbol is filled diamond. These are the two example which shown here. This is an example of composition. With this is a filled diamond with a line, and car is totally dependent upon the engine. If engine is not present, then the car existence is not, we cannot think about the existence of car. So composition association is very much important. And aggregation, car passengers, aggregation car may have passenger, they come and go, so the composition is a strong containment as compared to the aggregation. An aggregation object is one which contains other objects. For example, an airplane class would contain engine, wing. Now moving to the inheritance. Inheritance terminology. When we use inheritance, we have classes at the top of the hierarchy that are known variously as generalization, parent, superclass, base, abstract. And classes at the bottom of hierarchy or those which inherit from some other class, known variously as specialization, child, subclass, derived, and concrete. Inheritance. The class towards the top of an inheritance hierarchy tend to be abstract classes that wouldn't have any object initiated from them. The bottommost classes of the hierarchy are the concrete classes from which we actually make objects that do work for us. Inheritance, generalization, and specializations. Generalization represent logical link between an entity E known as parent entity and one or more entities E1 up to En called child entities, of which E is more general in the sense that they are a particular case. In this situation, we say that E is a generalization of E1, En to E1, and that the entities E1 to En are specialization for E. It's a vice versa. If we are talking about from the En to E1, it will be a generalization, and when we are talking about a top up to down out, E1 to En is a specialization. Both are slightly different. One is top to bottom, and second one is bottom to top. Generalization is starting from bottom to up, and specialization is up to bottom. Inheritance, generalization, and specialization. In this manner, we can say man, woman, person. We are starting the arrow as going from the upward. This will show a script of a person, man, woman, person, age, name, surname, text code. Here is a text code, address, professional, lawyer, engineer, doctor. This is a graphical presentation of specialization and generalization. Generalization types. A generalization is a tool if every instance of the parent entity is also an instance of one of its children. Otherwise, it is partial. A generalization is exclusive if every instance of the parent entity is at most an instance of one of the children. Otherwise, it is overlapping. The generalization person of man and woman is total. The set of man and the woman constitute all the pupil and exclusive. A person is either a man or a woman. The generalization vehicle of automobile and bicycle is partial and exclusive because there are other type of vehicle, for example motorbike, that are neither car nor bicycle. The generalization person of student and employee is partial and overlapping because there are students who are also employed. Generalization type. Here a graphic which present a generalization type. It's a start from project manager. Project manager is analyst. An analyst may be employee. An employee is a pupil. Here we can classify generalization types. Pupil is a man, woman, anything, and employee, student, numbers, salary, manager, programmer, analyst. This is a total top up to bottom up type a diagram. So it's so the generalization types: inheritance, advantage and disadvantage. Advantage means what the profit give by the inheritance. Avoid avoid redundant code by sharing it between classes. Inheritance relationships let us avoid the redundancy of declaring the same instance variables and behavior in a group of related class. For instance, dogs and cats do not both need a name variable. They can inherit it from pet. Inherit from pet. Enforcing standards at a design level interface. Programming by drag and drop components. Avoid redundant code by sharing it between projects. Reuse shared code. Allows for rapid prototyping via reuse. Shared code produces greater reliability via greater use and hence discovery of errors. Disadvantage: increased classes, abstraction coupling, program size. Using large class inherit in large class hierarchies makes your project bigger. Dealing with the runtime dispatch of message to object related in an inheritance hierarchy has memory overhead. Understanding a large system, the problem class documentation. Inheritance means that it is not sufficient to study the header file declaration of a class to completely understand its behavior. You often must look up the hierarchy and consider the inherited behavior and set and state from its superclasses. On a practical note, This can be a pain for documentation since you may not find the behavior you seek in the document for the class itself. These are the some disadvantages of inheritance. It's a UML notification about inheritance generalization. Every sub is a car. S releases G class. Class S implements interface for G. D is dependent on I. Change to I may affect D. These are some notation which we used in a generalization within the UML diagram representation. So it's so different. If every class is depend on this, this is a graphical representation. And if S releases G, class S implements interface with the G, we can see this type of, we can see or we can create this type of image. And this is dependent on I. If a class is dependent on I, it's show by this. Now moving to the next, using. When a class definition uses another class as a parameter to a method or declares an object of that class local to one of the member functions, then we say the first class is using the second. Using is not the same aggregation since the class being used does not satisfy the whole part question. The whole class exists to help the first class. Example, a class for calculating voltage, currents, and power in an electrical circuit would need to deal with complex numbers a lot. A complex number class would be used to pass arguments to methods, hold temporary values, etc. Association. Classes that cooperate with each other or are associated with each other through the model of our problem need each other's names to message back and forth. This is usually implemented in C++ by putting pointers to objects in class definitions, just like graph had a pointer to node list. Association implies symmetry. Both classes know each other and can message each other. A product class object may need to know the last cell that it was involved with. We could put a pointer to cell class object inside the private section of product. A cell class object may need to know all the products involved with the cell. We can put a pointer to a pointer, double pointer in cell that will let us store 0 or more products associated with a cell. Associations have a cardinality. They can be one to one, one to many, or many to many. For example, each product is a part of a cell. Each cell has many products. Association are the most generic of the relationships between classes. A class may also represent an association between two other classes. For example, a skill and a person are associated with one another. A person can have some number of skills, and a given skill may be associated with some set of persons. To define the relationship, a person skill class can have state such as proficiency and years experience, which tell how good a particular person is at a given skill and how many years experience they have with it. This is an association example which shown as I explained in this description. Skill name description, person name, person skill, proficiency and year. These are the classes: skill class, person skill, and what this show the relationship between skill and person with their association. Instantiation, the potential confusion for people new to object orient is that instantiation is what happens to create an object. At this is a class to class relationship. No objects are involved. Another term for this relationship is generic. A generic class arises from a situation where the behavior of a class can be abstracted into something which is relevant to more than one type of state. The goal is to share the definitions in the class of some behavior, for example, just methods, across different data types. For example, stack class has same fundamental behavior whether it is holding dogs, strings, ints, etc. We should not have to define a dog stack, int stack, etc. as separate classes with nearly identical methods. Some notations are used for instance UML and instantiation relationship is displayed in the diagram editor as a dashed line dashed line with an open arrow that points from the classifier that performs the operation to the classifier that is being used. The keyword instantiation is attached to the connector in an instantiation relationship. The client model element is by the supplier element and is therefore dependent on it. It shows two classes by the relationship of this instantaneous. Now moving to the advanced relationship. We are discussing about the relationship. Now moving to the advanced relationship within UML. Advanced relationship is explaining or including dependency, generalization, association, realization, and refinement relationship. Modeling webs of relationships, creating web of relationship. When you model the things that form the vocabulary of your system, you must also model how those things stand in relationship to one another. Relationship can be complex, however, visualizing, specifying, constructing, and documenting webs of relationships require a number of advanced features. Dependencies, generalization, and association are the three most important relational building block of the UML. These relationships have a number of properties beyond those described in the previous part. We can also model multiple inheritance, navigation, composition, refinement, and other characteristics. Using a fourth kind of relationship, realization, you can model the connection between an interface and a class or component, or between a use case and a collaboration. In the UML, you can model the semantics of relationships to any degree of formality. Managing complex webs of relationship requires that you use the right relationship at the level of detail so that you neither under nor over engineer your system. If you are building a house, if you are building a house, deciding where to place each room in relation to other is a critical task. At one level of abstraction, you might decide that put the master bedroom on the main level away from the front of the house. You might next think through common scenarios to help you reason about the use of this room. Agreement, for example, consider bringing in groceries from the. It would not make sense to walk from the through your bedroom to get to the kitchen. So that is an arrangement you did reject. You can form a fairly complete picture of your house floor plan just by thinking through these basic relationships and use cases. However, that is not enough. You can end up with some real flaws in your design if you didn't consider more complex relationship. For example, you might like the arrangement of rooms on each floor, but rooms on different floors might interact in unforce, unforeseen ways. Suppose you place your teenager daughter's room right above your bedroom. Now, suppose your teenager decides to learn how to play the drums. You did clearly want to reject that floor plan too. Similarly, you have to consider how underlying mechanisms in the house might interact with your floor plan. For example, you will increase the cost of construction if you did not arrange your rooms so that you have common walls in which to run pipes and drains. It is the same when you build software. Dependencies, generalization, and association are the most common relationships you will encounter when modeling software intensive systems. However, you need a number of advanced features of these relationships in order to capture the details of many systems, details that are important for you to consider so that you avoid real flaws in your design. The UML provides a representation for a number of advanced properties as figure shows. This notation permits you to visualize, specify, construct, and document web of relationships to any level of detail you wish, even sufficient to support forward and reverse engineering of models and code. Dependency. A dependency is a using relationship specifying that a change in the specification of one thing may affect another thing that uses it, but not the reverse. Graphically, a dependency is rendered as a dashed line directed to the things that is depend on applied dependency. When you want to show one thing using another, a plain dependency relationship is sufficient for most of the using relationships you will encounter. However, if you want to specify a shaded of meaning, the UML defines a number of stereotypes that may be applied to dependency relationships. There are a number of stereotypes which can be organized into several groups. First, there are stereotypes that apply to dependency relationship among class and objects in a class diagram. Thank you, class. We will explain next class in next lecture with all description about dependencies and with their examples. So I'm closing today's lecture, today's session here. Thank you.